today's video is to go along with the assignment in the Excel spreadsheets class after Chapter 9, Scenario Manager Assignment. In the Scenario Manager Assignment, it has you open up the investment calculator spreadsheet, which is what I have open here. Before we create different scenarios, and what we're going to do is we're going to play around with these three numbers right here, the investment, the rate, and the term, and we're going to see how it changes the amount invested, the future, and the earned investment. You can see B5, B6, and B7 already have formulas in it. So we are going to change the cells that do not have formulas in it. Okay? In order to do that, the very first step says to save this scenario that displays in the spreadsheet in the scenario manager. Name the scenario 100, which stands for that, underscore 2, so we know it's 2%, and 40, which is the term. To do that, I'm in the data tab, and I'm in the what if. I'm going to click down on what if analysis. I'm choosing scenario manager. You notice I have no scenarios chosen right now. I'm going to choose add, and I'm going to name it what it told me, 100 underscore 2% underscore 40. Now, I'm going to actually copy this because I'm going to use more or less the same saving format to come. Now, what cells are going to change? I'm going to select these three because these are the ones we're working with. Click OK. And for this very first one, we're not going to change this. We're going to click OK. We now have a scenario named what they were giving us. The next one, step 2, it says go back to the spreadsheet data and change the interest rate from 2 to 3. So I'm going to close the scenario manager and I'm going to change it from 2 to 3. And then we're going to create a new scenario. So we're going to go and add. In this scenario, I bet it's hard to guess, we changed this 2 to a 3 because we changed it from 2% to 3% interest. And this is still going to say B2 through B4. I'm going to click OK. And it has exactly what the correct data is. Click OK. Now you can see we have 2 in there, 2 different scenarios. We are going on to scenario 3, which also is step 3. I'm going to close this because I'm going to assume the rate went up from 3% to 4%. And I'm going to go to Scenario Manager, Add. I again pasted the name so I could just ease of typing and just copy it in there. This is the same 3 cells. Click OK and click OK. Now we have 3. Going on to the next one. This one's going to change a little bit. We're going to assume the savings of 200. Let's go ahead, and this one's going to be named 200 at 2% for 40 years. It's going to be the same amount of cells. I'm just going to make sure I have that right. Name the scenario 2, 2%, 40. But you know what I didn't do? I'm going to cancel that because I should have changed this first. And that I needed to change that to 200 and this back to 2 before I created the scenario manager. So you'll see as you're going, sometimes you make some mistakes. We're going to add, you just kind of step back. I was able to just cancel right out of that. Change it to 2, and we are keeping it at 2%, correct? 40 years. Click OK and OK. And now we should have 4 of them. We're going on to step 5. Assume the savings of 200 at 3%. So I'm going to close this again, change this to 3%, and create a new scenario, add it. This was changed to a 3, and this was at 200. Okay, and okay. And so right now you can see I have, what do I have? We have 3 with 100s, 2 with 200s. We're going to add one more, but before I do that, I need to just change this to a 4%. And going to go back and add. again, I've changed that in my, over here I changed it to a 4 and this was at 200. Click OK and OK. Now you can see I have all 6. Before I do this summary, I want to show you something. So right now we are on the, we are on this one, the 200, 4%, 40. If I went back up to the 100, 2%, 40, notice it's not showing. If I click show, it'll change it in here, which is one of the things I do when I go to grade them. I make sure when I click on these that they adjust over here. Look at this. If I'm at 2%, notice the interest earned was 25,443. Now if I can up it to 3%, notice how much my interest goes up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to step 8, using the scenario manager and the scenario saved. We're going to create a scenario summary that we can compare all of these different changes. So all I do is within the scenario manager, I'm going to hit summary, and it's just going to say scenario summary that compares the data in, I got to choose B2 to B7. I'm going to choose all those. So it says B2 to B7. You could have chose, we talked a little bit about pivot table reports, but this assignment's just asking for a summary. And there we have it. So we're going to show you, look at this, with 100% at 3%, at 2%, 4%. I'm trying to figure out why I screwed it. Yeah. Oh, because it's showing the original. So it's got them all even down to the 200s, and it'll show you B7 if you remember, and you could go and change these. And for instance, if I go back here, what B7 is interest earned. Well, this would make more sense to me if I had that in there. So I didn't have to keep clicking back and forth. I could say, oh yeah, that's the interest earned. So you can go, and that's what step 8 is. They making modifications. I would get rid of the B5 and the B6 and put exactly what it is by looking right here. This is amount invested, and this is future value. That's all this assignment was. Then it tells you to resave this and to upload it. So please do that, and let me know if you have any questions. But this is a really great assignment, so you can compare different amount of money you're investing with different terms, whether it be the term all stayed the same for 40 years, but if we had a different rate or different terms, all of these numbers would change. So it's kind of exciting just to see it laid out. Now in your own life, you might be looking at buying a house or buying a car. And with a house, you might be considering a 15-year mortgage, a 20-year mortgage, or a 30-year mortgage. You could do scenario managers rather than writing down 3 different steps and have it all laid out here nice and neat for you. I really hope this helped. If after this video you still have questions, please let me know. Thank you and have a good night.